Hello, this is JIM-KC9VKV, and sometimes we're known as KC9VKV Bicycle Mobile. And a lot of people have requested to have some video made of the mobile bicycle that we ride in the morning in the park between 8 and 10 usually. So we thought we would accommodate. So this will be about our bicycle mobile. This is basically just a mountain bike with a little special handlebar adaptation of radio equipment. What we have here is a pedestal, PVC pedestal, that goes all the way down into the as far as it can go. Let me get around here so I can show you. It goes down there, two PVC pipes that come up, and then the radio is mounted. There's a Velcro strap, and the radio is clipped onto the Velcro strap. Now, it used to be that the Velcro strap went across the front of the radio, but the problem was then you couldn't get to the controls very easily. And so then we just decided to do the strap and clip the Bofang to the strap, and that worked out a lot better. Now we also have another radio down below for other communications purposes, but this is the main one we use. And the actual advantage, the best part of the system is the antenna. Now this is a very special antenna. It gives us 3.5 dB gain on VHF and 6 dB gain on UHF, and that used to belong to Lu2 N9 GTO, but it's a long story. He had the antenna and he had it mounted on his truck, and his wife came home and she took a look at it, and she said, "Get that gaudy thing off your truck. It looks like it was made by a band of gypsies." And it was primarily because of the red aspects to the antenna. Not many antennas have red as the main color, and so he gave me a call and he said, "You know, I've got this great antenna, but I can't use it because the wife won't let me run it on the truck. So maybe you might be able to use it. The only problem is that it's fire engine red." And I said, "Well, you know, that's not really a problem because my bike is fire engine red." So it all worked out. And before I had that antenna, I had a home-grown ground plane that was about the same height as this, and it had 3 radials, ground radials coming off from about this height here. And if you notice, it used to have 4, except when I got on the bike I realized I had a ground radial in my eyeball, and so I did decide to delete one of the ground radials, make it 3, and space them such that when I rode the bike I would not have a ground radial in the eyeball. It worked out pretty good, but it didn't have much gain, although I could use it on VHF and UHF, which is better than just a UHF or a VHF singular antenna. Now you might wonder what this is. This is well, I had a little leak on the cover last night, and the sheet was a little wet, so we used a little Kroger bag with some towels underneath it, and that makes everything run a lot better. Underneath that we have, of course, the liquid supply for traveling, and then we have our world famous cheat sheet here. These are the various frequencies that we use as we're traveling about hitting the repeaters. What I was going to say is initially when I had my ground planed antenna, I could only hit maybe 10 repeaters, but after Lou donated this antenna, I'm now hitting 18 repeaters from the pedway, so it's doing real well. And let's see here, I've got let's see, underneath I've got dual saddlebags. These are special Walmart $5 a piece lunch bags sewn together, and then just put over the adjustment for the handlebars there. And then let's see here. Oh, right there is the camera bag. And coming on over around front, I've got dual lights. This light here is a backup light to this light here, and that light is actually a Stanley 6-watt light, and they're all running off this power supply right there, and that's a rechargeable battery pack in there. And used to be I had this the Stanley light angled up higher, and we rode a lot at night, and folks would see us coming, and we had it angled up, and they thought it was a train coming. The light was extremely bright. A 6-watt LED light is really bright. So we did, after a while, decide to angle it down. So we got it angled down where it's probably illuminating mainly at about 20 feet in front of us. Now also, here's a little addition we're carrying this morning, which is bread for our ducks. And we'll have, maybe we'll run into George, hopefully, and be able to, you'll be able to see George's characteristics. Now George is the enforcer of the group, and he keeps all the other ducks away as his buddies are trying to eat. But George himself will not eat, you know, given food. So you'll be able to see that. Anyway, this is the KC9VKV bicycle mobile. Had a lot of interest in us doing a video on that. So I figured, well, since we're in the park, this would be a beautiful time to do it. So when we're talking on the radio in the park, that's pretty much what we're riding. So there you go, the KC9VKV bicycle mobile. And that's Georgie right there. They're trying to get in on the food, but George is keeping them all at bay. That's George the duck. You've heard so much about George. Well, there he is. He keeps all the other intruders out of the group, but he will not eat any of the bread that I put out. He will let all of his buddies eat, but he will not, and he'll chase off any newcomers that try to get in on the feeding. So, all right, this is the local group here that George controls. There we go. One more tight of Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Hi, buddy. You're doing a good job. All right, you guys, we'll catch you later. KC9VKV bicycle mobile. for the cow's little liquid refreshers there, Roger.
At least the first day to get a little sunshine for your outdoor extracurricular biking activities. Finally get some sunshine.
Roger, Roger. Well, I would have hoped to get a little heat along with the sunshine. Is that so much to ask?
I've got about 48 degrees on my car temperature indicator. I'll take that over 15 or 20, that's for sure.
Roger, roger that, yeah. We managed to set a new record this year. Our former record was 17 degrees, and I think we did manage to get out there at about 11 degrees there one morning.
I think I'd have a hard time my joints pedaling on that. I saw something on Pinterest that I thought I'll bet you had looked like a C-shaped antenna that somebody had made and bent for, and then there was back-to-back. One was UHF and VHF, and they mounted it on their back of their bike. It was a nice-looking rig and setup, and it reminded me of you. I think you've got your Bofang, and I'm not sure what antenna you're running, though.
We're running a Bluetooth N9 GTO special here. This is, when I tell this story, this is one that he had on his truck for a while until his wife saw it, and she said, "Get that gaudy thing off your truck, it looks like it's made by Bandit Gypsy." And the main reason she said that was that it is a red antenna. It's basically fire engine red. So Bluetooth gave me a call and said, "You know, I got this antenna. It's really a nice antenna, but I can't use it. Would you like it?" And I said, "Well, sure." He said, "You know, it does have a problem though. It's fire engine red." I said, "Not a problem. That's the same color as my bike. Would you like it?"
Well, that works actually rather well, and I was thinking for fire engine red for visibility standpoint, safety first.
Oh, Roger. Well, they don't know exactly what to do with me as I tool down the footway. This antenna does, the tip of it is 7.5 feet off the ground. So it does have certain vertical aspects to it, you know. Although, I do have about 3 inches of clearance on the main shelter. So I don't have to lay it down. Now, the other shelters do not have that clearance, and I would have to try to lay it down a little bit to get inside those. But the main one here is, I guess it's 8 feet, so I have 3 or 4 inches of clearance on that one, Roger.
I was going to say that, or just let a little bit of air out of the tires. Right. I take it you have a different type of kickstand. I tell you what, when the kids, some of the guys in our neighborhood were big on CB, what we ended up doing is put a whip on our bike and put the CB on it. We'd run around the neighborhood, get more distance because our handhelds didn't do the job, so we put a whip on it, got better distance. But whenever we tried to park our bikes, the whip would always knock our bike over.
Well, this only, I guess, is about 4.5 feet. Yeah, some of those CB are like 9 feet. You know, they do tend to be a little top-heavy as things go. But this one is not that way, although in the past few days there has been quite a bit of wind. And I've got some homebrew saddlebags that I have mounted up on the handlebars, below the handlebars, and they do catch some wind. So I had to be very careful that I didn't get too far away from the bike because it was taking quite a bit of side wind, Roger. Roger, Roger, Paul. Could you give me those calls in phonetics?
Kilo David 4, David Kilo Baker, 84 DKV.
Roger, Roger, Paul. I'm working on a video as we speak of the bike, and I did earlier shoot a little piece of descriptive of it, and then I did some video on the ducks, and I don't know if you ever heard about George, but George is a real special duck. So when I put this on, everybody will be able to see who George really is, and may have a little bit of our QSO on there with it. Roger, Roger.
So you quack it out. Okay. 84 DKV. I'll be right back.
Roger, Roger. 3's for the file, and we'll catch you at KC9VKV, bicycle mobile, exercising for better health.